City, Texas, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anjali Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining from California early in the morning. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna, Harita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining every single day for all the calls and giving your association. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji and all the devotees. I'm Sudhakar joining from Saudi Arabia. My humble obeisances to all the people assembled here.
Hare Krishna, Sudhakar Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhu, for joining and giving your association. And all glories to your services to the group, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karuna Devi Dasi from Ayurveda.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Karuna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining, and all glories to your wonderful services to the group. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Wish you a very happy Ekadashi, Mataji.
Happy Ekadasi, Mataji, and happy Kartik too. Some of us will start on Ekadasi, some start on Purnima. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead. Okay. We'll wait until Prabhuji joins, Mataji. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण राम राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण प्लीज एक्सेप्ट okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today, we are very fortunate to have His Grace Samarpan Gopa Prabhu to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th Canto, 10th chapter, 39 and 40 verses. Yes, Prabhuji is there on the call. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji, for joining and giving your association this morning and enlightening us on this topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Prabhu, whenever you comes, it is always Ekadasi. I observe today is Ekadasi for us. I'm very happy to have your association on Ekadasi, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Same here. Thank you for giving me some opportunity to think about Krishna on the Ekadashi day and try to glorify him in some way through Srimad Bhagavatam.
Thank you, Prabhu. Your classes are wonderful, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your association. Hare Krishna.
We'll begin, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Yes, thank you. So, begin with Mangalacharya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yatta Brajantamanapeta Apeta Krityam Dvaipayano Virahakatara Ajuhava Utreti Tanmayataya Taravo Vinedus Tam Sarva Bhutaridayam Manimanatosmi Yasyanubhavamakhilashyati Saramika Adhyatma Deepa Atiti Rishatam Tamondham Samsarina Karunaya Purana Guhyam तं व्याससूनु उपयामि गुरुं मुनीनां नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 10, text 39 and 40. So 39 doesn't have purport, so I will just read through it, and then 40th verse has small purport. So the chapter is entitled The Battle Between the Demigods and the Demons, text 39. शिरोभिरुद्धूतकिरीटकुण्डलैः सम्भ्रमदृग्भिर्परिदष्टदच्छदैः महाभुजैः साभरणैः सहायुधैः सप्रसृष्टभूः करभोरुभिर्बभौ. Translation. And share the screen. Okay, you are showing. Very good. In the course of the battle, the warfield became strewn with the severed heads of heroes, their eyes still staring at their teeth, and eyes still staring and their teeth still pressed against their lips in anger. Helmets and earrings were scattered from the severed heads. Similarly, many arms, decorated with ornaments and clutching various weapons, were strewn here and there, as were many legs and thighs which resembled the trunks of elephant. I was just looking for meaning of strewn exactly means what. So strew means scatter entirely over a surface. That's what is the meaning. Okay. The text 40. Kavandasastatra chotpetuh patitasvashiro shibhi उद्यातयुद्ध दोर्दण्डैर् आधावन्तो भटान्मृधे कबन्धस्तत्र चोत्पेतुः पतितस्वशिरोक्षिभिः उद्यायुद्धदोर्दण्डैः आधावन्तो भटान्मृधे कबन्धस्तत्र चोत्पेतुः पतितस्वशिरोक्षिभिः उद्योतयुद्धदोर्दण्डैः आधावन्तो भटान्मृधे. So, word to word meaning, translation and the purpose by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Many headless trunks were generated on the battlefield with weapons in their arms. Those ghostly trunks, which could see with the eyes in the fallen heads, attacked the enemy soldiers. Purport. It appears that the heroes who died on the battlefield immediately became ghosts, and although their heads had been severed from their bodies, new trunks were generated, and these new trunks, seeing with the eyes in the severed heads, began to attack the enemy. In other words, many ghosts were generated to join the fight, and thus new trunks appeared on the battlefield. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः करामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारि वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं। तस्मादहं विगतविक्लव ईश्वरस्य सर्वात्मनां हि गृह्णामि यथा मनीषं। नीचोजयो गुणविसर्ग अनुप्रविष्ट योज्येत हि पुमान् अनुवर्णितेन। भूतैर्महद्भिर्यैमां पुरा प्रभो निर्मायशेते यदमुषपूरुषम्। भुङ्क्ते गुणान् षोडश षोडशात्मकं स्वलङ्कृशिष्टभगवन् वचांसि मे। यथा हरौ भगवती नृणां भक्तिर्भविष्यति सर्वात्मनि अखिलाधारे इति सङ्कल्पवर्णय। दशमस्य विशुद्ध्यर्थं नवानामिह लक्षणं वर्णयन्ति महात्मानः श्रुतेनार्थेन चान्यसः। Hare Krishna. So, welcome all of you for this everyday Bhagavatam class which you have, and giving me some opportunity to do some service, and it's very nice coincidence that it's always Ekadashi. Here also is Ekadashi, there also is Ekadashi today, and some festival. So thank you very much for some opportunity to reflect. Although there is not much qualification to speak or hear, because Bhagavatam is such a great literature. But the process is that only, to hear and chant holy name and holy fame of Lord as given in Srimad Bhagavatam. So, before beginning, as a proper culture, first we have to some reflect on the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Srila Prabhupada in his introduction to Srimad Bhagavatam, which he carried towards US, right? He carried, so he had so much faith on Srimad Bhagavatam. So in that Bhagavatam introduction only, Prabhupada has given person Bhagavat all entire life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because without that it is not possible to understand. Bhagavata Padogya Bhagavata Sthan. So Prabhupada fully writes the summary life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come for one purpose. What is that? Atyanta durlabha prem koribaridan sikhai sharanagati bhaktera. So, Bhakti Vinod Thakur is saying that, I think first stanza is, what is that? Shri Krishna Chaitanya Jive Daya Kori Swaparshad Sviya Dhama Saha Avatari. So he has, Lord Chaitanya has come on the feeling compassion toward fallen souls. Jive Daya Kori. And he didn't come alone. Saparshad. He came with his associates and his dham, Sviya Dham, Saha Avatari. And why he came? To give charity of the most rare, highest love of God or love of Vrindavan of Braj Gopis. But why? He came to give that, but what he came to teach? Sikhai Sharanagati Bhaktera Prana. So that Sharanagati is the essential aspect of Krishna consciousness or practice of our bhakti. And this 8th canto is predominantly speaking about Sharanagati, because the 10 topics of Srimad Bhagavatam, the 8th canto is representing Sad Manvantaras, Manvantarani Sadharma. So there are descriptions in second canto, 10th chapter, text 3 onwards. After describing the 10 topics, what is the essential message and the methodology spoken by Shukdev Goswami is this 10 topics. So 8th canto, after giving Bhakti Vaibhav of pure devotional service in 6th canto, then 7th canto is Uti. Utayaha Karma Vasanam. So whatever background karma you have, if you surrender to pure devotee, then you can develop pure devotional service. That's the whole essence of 7th canto. And if you are not fortunate enough to get association of pure devotee, then one can follow Daiva Varnashram as told by Narada Muni at the end of 7th. There are only 2 stories actually. And then 8th canto is what? Manvantarani Sadharma after Uti. So what is that? That is Sharanagati. So Sharanagati, the pure Sharanagati of Bali Maharaj and the mixed Sharanagati of 4 types of people. So Artha Sharanagati we discussed about Gajendra in the beginning. Then there is Artharthi Sharanagati, that's what we are seeing now, the demigods, for the sake of getting their positions back to serve Krishna in material world, to do great responsible work for Krishna. So that is Artharthi. And then Jnani is the Satyavrata Muni in the last chapter of this canto. And Jigyasu is Lord Shiva, who was curious to see Mohini Murti. That you will discuss that, or it will come. So that's what is this 8th canto teaching, and pure Sharanagati is told by Bali Maharaj. So that is the overview and the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. Mahaprabhu has come to teach you this one, Sikhai Sharanagati. So in this canto we learn what is Sharanagati. So in having said that, now in this episode we have been seeing since many days about how this episode has unfolded, that I think Indra gets a garland from Durvas Muni, and then the further story is there. So they lost, and then Lord told them to make a truce, and the truce happened. After that, the Halahal came, and then Amrit came, then Mohini Murti came, and then Mohini Murti very intelligently gave Amrit to Devatas and killed Rahu and Ketu. Not Ketu, Rahu in Bhagavatam. That is, I think, in the previous chapter. And now, in this 10th chapter, there after the Lord is giving them the nectar, and the Devatas got nectar and demons didn't get anything. So the chapter 10 is battle between them, because demons are intolerant now. So this chapter is telling, in the 10th chapter describes how after the Lord disappeared, so after Mohini Murti disappeared, of course he showed as Lord also, then demons and Devatas wages war, and how the Lord made his appearance when Devatas were overpowered by the demons Maya. So demons eventually took shelter of Mayic techniques, and then Lord appeared to help Devatas again. So the attack of demons happened because of unable to tolerate. That is the 3rd verse. Sapatnanam param vruddham drushtva diti nandana amrishramana utpetur devan pratyudhyata yudhaya. Seeing the superior good fortune of their enemies, the demons, unable to tolerate it, attack the Devatas with raised weapons. So that's what. And then Shukdev Goswami very interestingly tells in the 5th verse. So Devatas who were under shelter of Narayan's feet, they were strengthened by the Amrit, right? So they counteracted demons. And then 5th verse is telling very unique thing, that a fierce hair-raising battle took place on the beach of the ocean of milk between Devas and demons. So there is hair-standing battle. So Shukdev Goswami is telling it's a very fierce, so very ghastly scene, ghastly battle, and there are ghosts in the current verse which we are discussing. So fifth verse is telling the speciality of the battle, and then he starts describing details of the battle. So first he says what all things are there, and then 16th verse onwards, how demons, Bali Maharaj and his powers and his great chariot and all that, and then demigods, Indra's chariot and everything is described. And then they started fighting with single combat with each other. So that's what, there is some culture going on. The equals are fighting with each other, and someone was an elephant fighting with other. So there is great description which you must have read, and that ends in the 38th verse, I believe. And then 39th verse is today's verse, which we are reading. So in 39th verse, there is a description of apparent beauty of the battlefield. So such kind of beauty is explained elsewhere also in Bhagavatam. Beauty means this is the beauty in the violence. So when Krishna killed Dhenu, not Krishna, Krishna Balaram killed Dhenukasura and his followers. So there was a panoramic scene of the blood and the donkeys who are there on the top of the trees. So Shukdev Goswami is seeing some beauty there in the violence also. So here also something similar is there. Sap prasuta karabho vibhav. So there is, it were resembling the trunks of elephants and all. So it's a description of such ghastliness. There are so many dead bodies who are lying without heads. And the next verse, which is important, which has a purport, is today's verse. So, Kabandastatra chotpetuhu patitah swashirokshibhi. Sharing the screen. Yeah. So, Kabandas means the trunks or the, only the portions without hands and legs. It is called Kabanda. Body, actually without head. Elsewhere it is written without even hand, somewhere without hands or something like trunk, from where everything comes out. So they were everywhere. They were generated means what? They got up. Swash, and which were patita. They were already killed actually, and their heads were severed, but still they got up. And swashirakshibihi, by the eyes in their heads which are down. Udyata, they got up. Only without head the body is getting up. Ayudha Dordandai, they are carrying still the weapons. And Adhavanta, so they are running. So it will be a very ghastly scene that man without head is going to attack. And they were attacking the enemies. So that is the meaning of us. Bhatan Mridhi. Mridhe Mridhe Neka Hamaharat Hastrato. So Mridhe is the batter. And the soldiers, Bhatan. So that's what is the meaning of this verse. So Srila Prabhupada and previous acharyas are giving one line to 2 line purports where there is indication of their depth of the revengeful mentality or Kshatriya spirit, you can say anything. So immediately they became ghosts. That's what is mentioned here. Immediately what happened? They became ghosts. And not just they became, they started attacking also. So I was just thinking what can be discussed on this. So there is another verse where Prabhupada writes about the definition of ghost. And that's a brilliant verse from 2nd canto, 3rd chapter, 23rd verse. Very beautiful verse. So that is Jivan Shavo Bhagavatang Renu. I'm just opening that verse. I hope you are able to see. A very important verse. The context of this verse is this, that Shaunak Munis are very eager to hear from Sukdev Goswami. But Sukdev Goswami has answered their questions. Rather, Sukadeva Goswami has answered the questions of Parikshit, the two questions which he asked. What is the duty of dying man and what should be heard, chanted, remembered and worshipped and what not? And that all answer is over. And now Sukadeva Goswami, Suta Goswami is telling Shaunakadi Rishis, my dear Rishis, whatever you have, this is how Parikshit was answered by Sukadeva Goswami. So they felt out Suta Goswami is going to stop. So Shaunakadi Rishi is wanting to hear continuously more. Swadu Swadu Pades Vayam Tuna Vitrupyamaha. They are not satiated. So they wanted to hear more. So they glorified the Vakta, Shukadeva Goswami, they glorified the Shota, Parikshit. And such an amazing Vakta Shota combination is there. Then what more Parikshit asked and what more Shukadeva spoke? Please tell us. And then they started telling that a person who doesn't hear Harikatha, he is thoroughly criticized by them. So that begins from, I believe, 13th, 14th verse of this chapter. So, Shva Vidvaraha Oshtak, Ayur Harati Vai Pungsam. So, my dear Sut Goswami may say that, okay, we'll have some break and then we can discuss. So he said, no, this activity cannot be delayed because people who don't hear Harikatha, their life is stolen by rising and the setting of the sun. Ayur Harati Vai Pungsam Uddan Astan Chayannaso Tasyarte Yat Shanonita Tamashloka Vartaya. My dear Sut Goswami, this activity of Harikatha cannot be delayed because we will lose our life. So please continue. And then they started speaking, criticizing people who don't hear Harikatha with great sarcasm. So they first say that those people who don't hear Harikatha, they are glorified as leaders by dogs, hogs, camels and asses. Such a sarcastic words. So they criticize the person who doesn't, they criticize people who follow a person who doesn't hear Harikatha. And then they criticize the person one by one. Their body, if eyes are, if their bodies, every limb is criticized. Hare Krishna. I hope I am
Hare
audible.
Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So every limb of their body is criticized which is not engaged in bhakti. You know, the ears are like the snake holes, eyes are like peacock feather, the legs which don't go to temple and dham are like trunks of the tree. No, or there are trunks of the bodies there. And so on. And now in this verse where Ghost is told, so they culminate. The previous verse is talking about, see, this is the eyes which do not like. They are like plumes of peacock. And legs are like tree trunks. So current verse is speaking about the other trunk. So having criticized every limb of that person, now they are saying the 23rd and 24th verse are culmination of that kind of. So it's a beautiful verse. So you see, after criticism of various parts of the body, there is now criticism of all of them together. So what is told in Jivan Shavo Bhagavatam Grirenum Najatumardyo Vilabheta Yastu Shri Vishnupadya Manujastulasya Shvasanshavo Yastu Naveda Gandham. Translation: the person who has not at any time received the dust of the Lord's pure devotee, feet of Lord's pure devotee upon his head, is certainly a dead body. And this is living dead, means ghost. And the person, Jivan Shavo, right? And the person who has never experienced aroma of tulsi leaves from the lotus feet of Lord is also a dead body, although breathing. So Shvasan Shavo. So there are two kinds of people are told. One who is breathing dead and one is living dead. So in the purport, Prabhupada writes, according to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the breathing dead body is a ghost. When man dies, he is called dead. But when he again appears in a subtle form, not visible to our present vision, and yet he acts, such dead body is called. So right now in the battlefield, that only is happening. So they are killed actually. So they don't have gross body. So again they enter and again they want to attack. Right. So that's why the one who is attacking is not seen actually. And what these ghosts do? Ghosts are always very bad elements, always creating fearful situation for others. So that's what was happening in the battlefield. So ghost. Similarly, the ghost like non-devotees. So this is a ghost definition. So now Prabhupada is saying ghost like non-devotees who have no respect for pure devotees, nor for the Vishnu deity in the temples, create a fearful situation for the devotees at all times. And Lord never accepts any offering of such impure ghosts. So here is the important point that the ghost on battlefield is one thing. Now, Prabhupada is saying, who is a ghost? The ghost is a person who has not got the dust of the lotus feet of pure devotee on his head. Means what is non-devotee? Or even if devotee, but he has not developed that affection, attachment to pure devotee. So what does that mean to call them ghost? So as Srimad Bhagavatam is Amal Puran, and this 8th canto, as I am telling that it is very clearly defining what is pure surrender and what is mixed surrender, right? So all other dharmas are kicked out from Srimad Bhagavatam. Dharma pravajita kaitavatra paramo nirmat saranam sar. So Srila Rupa Goswami also says about ghost. And he says there are two pishachis. So he writes in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Bhukti Mukti Spurha Yavat Pishachi Ridhi Vartate Tavat Bhakti Sukhasyatra Katham Abhyudayo Bhavet. So how can happiness of bhakti arise in the heart when the witch of desire of enjoyment and desire of liberation remains there? So it's a very subtle form of ghost actually. And what is described here is a very gross form of ghost, which has such a revengeful mentality that he again enters and fights. So how much there is absorption in that. That's why we see that the Antim Sanskar is done. Why? Because the soul along with subtle body remains along with the body. And when body is burnt, then he says, okay, I can't do anything now. I have to leave out this body. So that was the Antim Samskar. Right? So Antim Sanskar, what happens? That the soul is so attached to the body that it remains there, thinking that I can again enter. That's why in tradition of Vedic tradition, there is Antim Sanskar where proper direction and help is given for the soul for further journey. Right? So Garuda Puran explains all these details. However, this is one level of ghost. So there is one beautiful story of this, of a ghost or a Brahma Rakshas in Bhakti Siddhanta Vaibhav, which is written by Param Pujya Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj with great endeavors of 20-25 years of research. So the life of the spiritual master of His Divine Grace, Avacharnarinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So he is narrating a story of his father and he was accompanying his father. So once what happened, so this is from Bhakti Siddhanta Vaibhav, very beautiful story about ghost one. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur was along with his son and he was going to Kulina Gram where there are wonderful devotees to meet them. But those days they have to walk actually. So he was walking to Kulina Gram and the evening came from Puri and all. So he and along with his son, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that time, Vimal Prasad Datta. So he was with him and this is in 1985. So both of them were visiting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime places in Bengal. So they late evening they came on outskirts of Kulinagram, and they thought now we can't enter, now it's too late, so we'll rest in the temple. So outskirts there was a temple where they rested in the night. And they got up morning, they did their chanting and everything, morning duties. And then early morning they could reach the village, Kulinagram. And then when they saw Bhaktivinoda Thakur and son, they asked him, my dear Bhaktivinoda Thakur, where did you spend night? How did you sleep? He said, yes, there was a temple. They said, how could you have slept there? Because there is a Brahma Rakshas who is very attacking. How could you sleep there? Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, yes, so I am just reading as it is. Yes, that ghost did try to disturb us, but I loudly chanted Hare Krishna mantra and he went away. So when they learned this, so the villagers started telling. Villager become most obeisant and further questioned. How did you quell the ghost, by chanting? Previously, he was a priest. There was a priest there in the temple and he chanted Hare Krishna throughout his life. And almost constantly he was chanting Hare Krishna. Right? How did he become ghost and how could your chanting expel him? So then Bhaktivinoda Thakur told that see, he must have vibrated the holy name, but it was just a lip service. It was just Namakshara hai, Naam nahi hai. Right? Although he chanted constantly. Right? So he very amazingly says, sinful people with the intention of acquiring wealth and reputation make show of kirtan. So see, for what purpose? Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. But that for that purpose, to acquire dhanam, janam, sundarim, people do show off kirtan. And he was priest, right? So he was chanting constantly. Like Ramdas Vishwas was constantly chanting. And he was serving Raghunath Bhatt Goswami. And Raghunath Bhatt Goswami was feeling awkward at how is this Vaishnava? And that personality was also well known as Mahabhagavat. But his desire was to become Lord Ram. So that is another level. This is another. But so that is mere chanting. So there he quotes Jagdanand Pandit's असाधु संगे भाई कृष्ण नाम नहीं है नामाक्षर बहिराय बटे नाम कभू नाय. Means what? In the those who are not in the association of authentic devotees cannot actually utter the holy names. Then you may say, what they are chanting there? Even though they may be externally vibrate the sound Krishna, that is not actually name of Krishna. It's Akshar. So the name of Krishna is not different from him and thus completely pure and spiritual. Krishna Nam does not allow himself to be plundered by the materialist. So this man never actually chanted Hare Krishna, only Nama Aparad. So he was chanting the lowermost form of name, that is Nama Aparad. Because of severe offenses to the holy name, so that's what he elaborated. And then the villagers told actually that he was doing all sinful activities. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur reveals that actually if that person hears the real name, then he can be delivered. So then the villagers understood that Bhaktivinoda Thakur is such a great sadhu. So because of hearing his japa, that Brahma Rakshas was delivered. That is the glory of a pure chanter of holy name. It is Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So that's what is so here it is told. The villager then realized that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was himself that caliber of exalted sadhu whose pure kirtan has the power not only to exorcise unyielding ghosts but to deliver entire universe from the milestone of the material. So Prabhupada had that kind of faith on the holy name, and like Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur reveals this. So actually, so what does ghost mean actually? So the grossest ghost is a person who is frustrated so much and pained so much and distressed so much that he commits suicide. And then he becomes a ghost. Because that's a sin actually. And then he's more miserable. He thinks that I will kill myself and become peaceful. But he is more miserable because all the desires and cravings are there, but he doesn't have the gross body to enjoy. Right? It's the most miserable situation. So what they are looking for, they want to hunt a person who is a weak. So ghosts hunt people who are weak in their heart. And that's how they try to enjoy through their body. Right? So that is the grossest form of ghost that they hunt. Coming to what Rupa Goswami is saying in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is the subtler ghost, which so this gross and subtle is all ghost only because the effect is like ghost, right? That so this ghost is what the spruha for bhukti and spruha for mukti. Bhukti, mukti, spruha, yavat, ishachi ridhi vartate. So this verse, upon hearing Srila Vallabhacharya, was little bit dissatisfied, thinking that how moksha can be a ghost. So he kind of wanted to edit that, and Rupa Goswami said, "I'll change it," like that. But then Jiva Goswami, who was his assistant then, a boy. So Rupa Goswami went for taking bath, and then Jiva Goswami tried to clarify with Vallabhacharya that, my dear Vallabhacharya, it is not wrong what is written by my Guru Maharaj. It is not moksha which is ghost, but the desire for moksha is ghost. And desire for bhukti is ghost, not the bhukti itself. So desire for mukti and desire for bhukti. These are called to be ghosts by Srila Rupa Goswami. And what is the consequence if we have these ghosts? Means what? We are occupied by those hankerings or cravings or anticipations or contemplations on that. Then it is similar to ghost. Why? Because we will not act on our true nature of being servant of Krishna. And then there is no question of experience of bhakti. Like this ghost which was delivered by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that ghost was chanting Hare Krishna all the time. But what? He was craving for these things. He was doing sinful activities. So what Rupa Goswami is saying, Tavat Bhakti Sukhasyatra Katham Abhyudaya bhavet. Abhyudaya means how it can awaken in such person. What? Bhakti Sukh. The experience of happiness of bhakti. How it can come. So this is a very extremely important thing actually, because Srila Prabhupada and Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says in the 9th chapter only, right? 9th or which chapter that is? Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitram Idamattamam Pratyaksha Avagamam Dharmam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. So this process is Avya, pure bhakti process. So 9th chapter is most confidential knowledge. 7th and 8th chapters of Gita are mixed bhakti, predominantly. Karma Mishra Bhakti, first 3 people, Artha, Jidnyasu, Artharthi. And their Saranagati is explained in this canto which we discussed. And there is Jnani, which is also discussed. So this is all mixed devotion. Pure devotion and Yoga Mishra Bhakti, Jnana Mishra Bhakti is 7th and 8th chapter predominantly. And the pure Bhakti is 9th chapter and 10th chapter. And of course further. So pure Bhakti is the most confidential knowledge. And that one who doesn't have faith on that, he will continue to transmigrate Shraddha. And in this verse, he is saying that Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam. So it's a king of all knowledge. It's the most confidential secrets of all secrets. Raja Guhyam. Its most purest form. Pavitram idam uttamam. It is transcendental. Pratyaksha avagamam. In spite of all this great quality, it is to be experienced directly. And Susukham Kartum Abhyam, it is performed with great happiness. So, this happiness which is promised by Krishna and Prabhupada will be experienced to the extent we are not affected by these ghosts. And we detect those ghosts and not act under their influence. So that is the ghost part actually. So why the bhakti ghost covers the bhakti with other desires. So bhakti is practiced with all other dhanam, janam, sundari, or bhakti in three modes as Kapila says. For sake of fame, for sake of followers, for sake of destruction of sins, for sake of uh, competition, like tamogun, rajogun, satogun bhakti. So that is about that. And the mukti ichha is even more ghostly because it's more dangerous. That's why there is an entire chapter of Bhakti Samrit Sindhu is the even devotees don't desire even mukti also. Devotee only desires. They don't desire mukti. Which mukti they don't desire? They don't desire sayujya mukti. Okay. But they don't even want other four muktis also. That is the pure unalloyed devotion. सालोक्य सारष्टि सामीप्य सालोक्यम एकत्वम अप्युत दीयमानम न गृह्णन्ति विना मत सेवनम जन. This is the standard of pure unalloyed devotion. So that such devotee doesn't even desire the four muktis of Vaikuntha. And what to speak of the relief of moksha? No, Mahaprabhu is saying, I can live here, take birth again and again as your devotee. That's all. So that is the consciousness of a pure devotee or pure practitioner of pure devotional service. Otherwise, everything else or means it's more or less ghost one. Right? What is ghost? The grossest sense of ghost is that's what false ego. Right? The person is identifying with something else than what he is. That is ghost. Right? So subtly it's false ego and grossly it's a ghost, what we saw in this. Right? So there is a great, now coming back to the battlefield. So the people who are killed, they have so much of passion and enmity and retaliating feeling that even after they are killed, they want to retaliate. Right? So actually, that's what is told in first canto of Bhagavatam, glorifying Parikshit. So this verse is spoken by Shaunak Muni, who knows the glory of Parikshit. And he tells Shringi that, my dear Shringi, what you have done, but this person is not going to retaliate because he is Tad Bhakta Prabhu. He is a very great, pure, unalloyed servant of Lord. So, what is the symptom of such person? Tiraskrita, vipralabdha, shapta, kshapta, hata api, na asya tat pratikurvanti. Na asya tat pratikurvanti. Prabhavopi, bhakta prabhavopi, something like that. So, this is the symptom of a person. I'm just opening the verse. Yeah, just a second. So this is a symptom actually of a person who is trying to practice pure devotional service. So he is able to perceive the hand of Supreme Lord in his life. So first symptom of that person is he doesn't retaliate. He tolerates. So what Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains, the third verse of Shikshashtakam. Vriksha samak kshama guna korive sadhan Pati himsa teji anne koribe pala. So that's what. There is no pratihimsa. Rather, forget about pratihimsa, forget about retaliation. He forgets it, he forgives him, he forgets it, and moreover, he wants to do something good for that person. So this is the consciousness of Prahlad. This is consciousness of Ambrish. This is consciousness of Parikshit, who are the characters of Bhagavatam. And Parikshit is eagerly waiting for the punishment, not on entire family, but only on me. Not later, but as early as possible. This is the sincerity. So Prabhupada says that repentance comes in the heart of a good soul as soon as he commits something wrong. So Parikshit is thinking. And then Shaunak Muni speaks this beautiful verse. So I'm just opening that verse. Yeah. Here is the verse. So here on the battlefield, there is so much desire to take revenge. Is after dying also they are trying to attack. Can you imagine how much absorption is there? Tiraskrita. Whereas Haridas Thakur was trying to be compassionate on the executioners. And he said, okay, you kill me and I will appear like kid. You throw me in the water and then I will not trouble you, So that is the opposite nature of this great Vaishnava. It's like Haridas Thakur. Right? So this is the verse. Tiraskrita vipralabdha shapta kshipta hata api na asya tat pratikurvanti tad bhaktaha prabhavo. The devotees of the Lord are so forbearing that even though they are defamed, cheated, cursed, disturbed, neglected, or even killed, they are never inclined to avenge themselves. The same is the case with Jesus Christ also. Handas Thakur and so many examples. So that is the no desire for revenge. So here, because of deep desire for revenge, they are becoming ghost and they are attacking. So that is what is about the ghost. So these were few thoughts which I was thinking about the ghost from gross to subtle and to bring out what is the glory of pure devotion. Unless we take bath in such devotees Vaishnavatva, unless we get attracted to their personality, their Nam, Rup, Gun, Lila. Srila Prabhupada, how he dealt with Mrs. N, there was no tinge of any revengeful or negativity in his heart. Rather, he said, you are like my daughter. So this is, such Vaishnavas, we have to take dust on our head. It should become attracted and attached to such personalities. And speaking their glories is bathing in their dust. And if we don't take that dust, then we are also ghost, according to 2.2.1023. Jivan Shavo Bhagavatangri. Right? So that is what I will have to say. So I pause here and see if there are some comments or corrections or some clarifications or some questions, anything. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for this wonderful lecture. I think you emphasized about one of the sinful activities of Harinam 7, committing sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. So it's very nice. Maybe devotees, please raise your hands to ask any questions or relish to Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Koti Koti Danvat Pranam. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Sri Radha Gopinath ki jai. Very, very inspiring class, Prabhuji. Please give your association and blessing to all of us. This Kartik month, we all will not able to attend in Sri Ram Vrindavan Dham, but आप सब जाएंगे श्री राम वृंदावन धाम तो हम भक्ति संघा के सभी माता जी और प्रभु जी के लिए प्लीज प्रे फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस दैट virtually we will enter in Sri Ram Vrindavan Dham. Koti Koti Danvat Pranam. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Gopinath ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, you are already in Vrindavan, thinking about it. It's very powerful. Even I am going, but I am not thinking like you. And thank you very much for your aspirations. Hare Krishna. Yes, Hemangi Gopeshwari Mataji, you want to say something?
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for giving me the opportunity and beautiful class. You mentioned that Bhaktivinoda Thakur's prayer chanting liberated the Rakshasa.
Yes.
And whatever what he was doing in his life was just lip service, like thus he was speaking some akshara and not really the real name. So I'm also a Brahma Rakshasa, Prabhuji. So how do I know that I am chanting properly and not just doing akshar chanting?
My Lord, so you are saying it's very humbling to hear actually. So it's good thought that we are also like that because we have that kind of mentality. Even I have. Because if that mentality is not there, then what should happen? That is the next verse. 2.3.25 or 24. What is that verse? Tadashmasaram hridayam vatedam yadgriyamanay harinamadhe na vikriyetha tada vikaro netra gruha gatra ruheshu harsh. So, if we are not if the tears are not coming in eyes and hair standing on not end, if I'm chanting the holy name Hare Krishna, nothing is happening to me also. So, I am also aparadhi, I am also like that. So, all of us, or many of us, or some of us are like that. So, surely, so you are sincerely asking that how to know that whether we are chanting holy name or we are just chanting Akshara. Is it that your question, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So, Param Bhakti Vigyan Goswami Maharaj in his seminar was quoting the same verse. And he was explaining, and that was very touching to me. That actually, when our utterance is originating in false ego, then it is Namakshar. And when the utterance is coming from true ego, it's holy. So, he very clearly said. So to the degree we have upadhis and identification with upadhis, I am brahmachari, I am India, I am from ISKCON, NVCC, or whatever, any kind of identification other than Gopi, Bhartuk, Padakamadar, Das, Dasam, Das, that is more or less ghost only, right? And then ghost is there, then ghost chanting. So when we are consciously chanting and not counting but calling, then that is holy name. That's what Maharaj was saying. So to the degree we are identifying with our upadhis, I am temple president, I am whatever, no? Whatever upadhi can be, I am a mother, I am this, I am that. So that's why in the morning program and evening program, what Prabhupada instituted for everyone, not just the temple residents, everyone. Prabhupada. So that time we have to keep this aside. When we are praying to Guru in the morning, out of gratitude, then we chant Hare Krishna for 2 hours, then offer Guru Puja, and then hear Srimad Bhagavatam, and then honor Prasadam. So after Prasadam, we can take up our Upadhi to serve Krishna only. Because we can't serve without Upadhi, because we are not liberated. But we have to keep our Upadhis in car park. And then we hear Bhagavatam. Then we chant the holy name. Then we sing the Mangalarti. As you said that I am like Brahmarakshas. I am fallen. Please, I need mercy. So that mode, when we are trying to engage in our morning program, in essence, while dealing with holy name and holy fame of the Lord, we are completely trying to not identify our upadhis. Like, when Maharaj was saying, Param Bhakti Prem Maharaj, and Shriman Radheshampu was sitting in front of him in the class. So he was saying, see, when we come for Bhagavatam class, we have to remove the chappals outside, right? So, along with chappals, we have to remove our upadhis there. That I am temple president, I am HOD, I am brahmachari. Just as here Shriman Radheshampu is sitting, he's temple president, but he's so eager to hear. But that way we have to try to not get too much affected by our apadhis, and as soon as we understand that, because mind will identify with it, so we have to yato yato nischalati manaschanchalam asthira tatastato niyamyetat atmanneva vasham. So as soon as you come to know while chanting holy names or hearing Bhagavatam, that mind has gone to upadhi, you bring it back. When you bring it back, you're chanting holy names, you are calling out. When you don't bring back, allow it to coast around, and then that is Akshara. So this is how Parampuja Bhakti Vigyan Maharaj was explaining, and I am also trying to go closer to that. So these are few thoughts which Maharaj shared. I hope it helps in some way.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. It's very helpful. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the question. I think one more devotee had red hand, but I think it became late. I think.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. It was me. I raised hands, Prabhu.
Okay.
So thank you so
Just
much, Prabhuji, for a very wonderful class and very nice differentiation you said about the ghost, which is a subtle form and the gross form. So I have this one question. So as Rupa Goswami is saying that, as you said in the class, that having the desire of mukti or bhukti is also a kind of ghost, play desires, right? So in that case, we have also read that whatever material desires also we can approach the Lord, right? So then how to consider this, Prabhu? Kama sarva kama moksha kama udarati. So how to consider?
beautiful question. So Srimad Bhagavatam in the same chapter, I believe, 2.3 only. I think this verse is 2, 3, 10 only.
Yeah.
Akama sarva kama moksha kama
Moksha kama.
udarati. So Sukdev Goswami is only telling that. So how do we reconcile this verse and this verse of Srila Rupa Goswami? So how do we understand? So as far as I understand, it's like this, is that having desire which is momentary, having desire which is strong, having hankering, having craving. So these are all different depths of the intensity of desire, right? So what is spoken in this verse of Rupa Goswami is spruha, mukti mukti spruha. Spruha is a deeper desire. It's not just a passing desire. Like when we go out to distribute books in city and core parts of city, so there is bombardments of the allure, glitter and glamour of external energy, which can create some momentary desires in our heart. And I am telling about myself. However, they don't stay long, right? So what spruha means is coming from heart. It's like going towards deeper and stronger and repetitive meditation on that, or hankering to be more specific, or craving, or meditating on how to attain that sense object. So that is bhukti. And one who is frustrated with bhukti, he wants mukti. So relief. So enjoy, escape. So this kind of absorption, this kind of spurha, so it's not just desire, but it's deep desire. So that is what is called as ghost, because it haunts. Haunting means what? Is one is not very conscious. Like the desire for enjoyment haunted Ajamil. Right? Ajamil tried to remember some shlokas, but it haunted him, and then he acted he was not at all a Brahmana. Then he threw away his chaste wife and parents. So that way, that is the difference. So a sadhaka, because where this verse is told by Rupa Goswami, in the adhikar of Anna Vilashita Shunya, adhikar of pure devotion. So he says, in that adhikar he explains Uttam Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari, Kanishta Adhikari. And after that, he's telling that the 4 kinds of devotees which are told in Bhagavad Gita, Artha, Jidnyasu, Artharthi, they also cannot come to pure devotion without association of a pure devotee. Right? So, and then he is quoting this verse. So this is the context of the verse quoted. So means what? That a sincere sadhaka, in spite of having anarthas and avidya and such aspirations, he knows the highest thing and he tries to work upon it. So that is the side. If he maintains, that's what is the 10th offense, isn't it? The 10th offense is that. Maintaining material attachment, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. Right? Now coming to Akama Sarva Kamova, that verse is also what it is telling, that the bhakti process is the best sadhana for all kinds of people. Even if you have all material desires, even if you have desire for moksha, which is the highest material desire, because it is selfish, or you don't have any desire, that is devotee. What he should do? He should do Tivra Bhakti of Krishna. So Tivra Bhakti means what again? It is devoid of karma and jnana in Abhideya. In his practice, like Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj had great aspiration, but he followed a pure devotee. So he got purified. So that is the context of that verse which you asked, Akama Sarva Kamava. And this verse is Adhikar is being spoken. And by knowing this Adhikar, a sincere devotee tries to work upon this ghost. So that way, both can be understood. Does that make sense, Madhvi? Anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much for this very nice explanation into parallels of the verses. So because we are said that even we can go for the Lord for the material desires, but still it's really means it's not good to have that material desires, what we see in the 10th offense of holy names. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. So it's like only through bhakti and through chanting, our anarthas will come out, and same bhakti will also make us purify and go above the level of the material understandings. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Yes, but just add one thing in that. That is bhakti, chanting, this all we can't have any effect unless we take shelter of these things through a pure devotee. Right?
Yeah.
So that is the key. Otherwise, that's what Jivan Shava Bhagavatangri Renu. So that's the thing. We have to do this bhakti under instruction, guidance, and receiving mantra from a pure devotee. So that way, then it will work. It will have effect in the sense of the way it is explained in Shastra. So that pure devotee is pleasure of pure devotee and attachment, affection. That is the key of not becoming ghost or getting rid of our ghost that way. So that also can be thought of. Pure devotee service. Nityam Bhagavata Seva. Person Bhagavat, book Bhagavat. Yes. So then, Avadresh.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, thank you.
Prabhuji, I have a small question where I could not
Yes,
catch
Siddhartha.
your lecture. In the story, you mentioned that Bhaktivinoda Thakur Das was chanting in the temple loudly the Hare Krishna Nam, and then the ghost has liberated or vanished. What exactly? I couldn't hear that one.
Yeah. So what is written in Bhakti Siddhanta Vaibhav is the ghost got delivered actually. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur tells the villagers that what is hope for such Nama Pradhi who has become Brahma Rakshas? His only hope is to hear pure name from some pure devotee, then he will get liberated. So that day Bhaktivinoda Thakur chanted his rounds and he heard and he got delivered there. So that way.
It just reminds me about the story of the Gokarna's brother also, right? He also got liberated by listening to the...
Yes.
So I just was wondering, it is the same. Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Wonderful actually. So this is holy name and that is holy fame. Right? 7 days. So he is hearing with great intensity and eagerness. And he goes, for him, the plane comes, and not the people who are sitting in front. So, because he was hearing with great attention and seriousness. Yes, Prabhu, thank you for that nice reflection of, because he was also ghost only, right? And he took shelter of the
Yeah,
bamboo.
yes.
So, very nice reflection. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Prabhuji, you mentioned all this devotion or bhakti without the blessings of the pure devotee or the dust of the pure devotee is not
Yes.
that much worth. How do we really find or get the dust of the pure devotee in this in this world, Prabhuji?
Sadhu, sadhu, such a wonderful question. So, what is your understanding or your thoughts? You can share few thoughts. What is the meaning of bathing in the dust of the pure devotee?
My understanding was that following their advice and listening to their lectures and trying to implement as much as possible those uh, lectures from the devotees. But I don't know, when you say pure devotee, there is a difference, right? Between a devotee and a pure devotee. So this is where I'm just stuck up. For example, in this story, yes, the ghost liberated Bhaktivedanta Thakur as a pure devotee. But earlier also probably in the same temple somebody could have come, but he would not got liberated. So how to really identify or get associated with a pure devotee? This is what I have a doubt, Prabhuji.
Yes, very wonderful. So, actually, Shastras are telling, like as I told, Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu is explaining the lakshanas and the characteristics of three kinds of devotees. It's Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, Uttamadhikari. And they are all practitioners and perfected practitioners of pure devotional service. So, and Kapil Muni explains 11th canto, Nimi Maharaj is told by the Navayogendras. So there is many descriptions of different levels of devotees, right, in the Shastra. And we should reflect on them and discriminate in our association with all respects to everyone else. Number one. Number two, we cannot identify a pure devotee. We can't know who is a sadhu without mercy of sadhu. But we have to seek. So that's what actually Devahuti is instructed by Kapil Muni. Prasanga majaram pasham atmano kavayo vidhu sa eva sadhushu kruto moksha dwaram apavad. My dear mother, attachment to sadhu will open the doors of liberation. Then what is the symptom of sadhu? Then he tells Tikshava Karunika. They are the external, they are the secondary symptoms, the qualities of tolerance and etc. What is the primary symptoms? Mai ananyena bhavena bhaktim kurvanti me dridam. So, essence of that is they are completely surrendered and practitioners of pure devotional service. But we can't understand this actually because it's said by the great souls that it takes one to know one, right? So we can't actually see a sadhu because then our charma chakshu can understand. But we seek a sadhu and sadhu becomes merciful to us to reveal himself. So this is Param Puja Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj. So we can assume someone is pure devotee if his speech is pure and his activities are pure according to scriptures. So this is some indication, but we don't know exactly. But we can assume and try to follow that. This is what my Guru Maharaj says. But actually we can't know. That's why what Devahuti is told by Kapil Muni is a very beautiful verse. He is saying that this is 3.25.24, I believe. Yeah, I think you are able to see. So previously I quoted 3 verses before this one. So taye sadhavah sadhvi sarva sanga vivarjita sangastveshu athastre prartha sanga dosha harahit. So my dear Devahuti, these are the real sadhus and they are completely detached. With they don't have to do anything of this world, material or spiritual. There is no desire in that kind of thing. Sangasteshu athate prarthya. So you should pray, we should seek, we should strive, we should be hankering, we should be desiring, we should be praying, we should be earning for their association. Why? Because if you get their association, which is very rare, then they will destroy all your material association. Sanga dosha haraya. So, O mother, O virtuous lady, these are the qualities of great devotees who are freed from all attachment. You must seek attachment to such holiness. So we have to seek. So what, in a sense, is we have to pray for it, and we can't know who is the real, but we can decipher based on the Shastra, and we should study the levels of devotees, and we can seek and pray for their association. And then when they are merciful, we will understand. But in practical terms, we can accept our spiritual masters, our spiritual master and other spiritual masters as that cadre of people. This is a very practical thing. If they are available, then we should go and take their association, hear from them. Even if you don't hear today's class, you will not lose anything. But such people are coming, then we should go and hear. So this is number one about knowing them, but knowing is not enough, and that will be by their mercy. What is important is taking bath in their dust, right? So that's the, without taking that, that is ghost, according to Bhagavatam. So what is meaning of that? You rightly said that following their instructions, like, and so on. So that is surely correct, but little more than that is told here in this verse. So Naisham matis tavaturukramangrim sprishatyanartha pavamo yadartha mahi yasam padarajo abhishekam nishkinchananam na vrinitaya. So Prahlad Maharaj is telling Hiranyakashipu that, my dear Hiranyakashipu, you will never become Krishna conscious by your own endeavor or your guide's endeavor or combined endeavor. It's not possible. Neither your teachers, they are followers of Vedic, but they don't know the ultimate. Nate vidu swartha gati. But the conclusion is this verse. The previous two verses I said. That only by taking bath in the dust of lotus feet of akinchana devotees, nishkinchan devotees, then there is chance of mind becoming fixed on Krishna. And anartha upagama is a side effect. So here Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur tells what is meaning of this. And when I read that, I was like very much touched by his description. So see what is meaning of this. So as long as the intelligence does not accept the bathing in the dust of the feet of great devotees who have given up all material desires, bathing in his Vaishnava behavior and knowledge, that intelligence will not touch the feet of the Lord. So this is the meaning. So this is the English. So what is written in Sanskrit is Vaishnavatva. So when you get attracted to the personality of such sadhu, such perfected devotee, and your intelligence and heart is attracted to his personality, his Naam, Roop, Gun, Leela, activities, and remembering them is bathing in the dust. So that's what Prabhupada Bhanu Maharaj has translated. Bathing in his Vaishnava behavior and knowledge. So Vaishnavatva. Bathing in Vaishnavatva, how can you translate? So that's how he has translated. So that is the meaning, Prabhu. And once we do that, then if they give us some instruction, will we not take it seriously? Surely we will take it seriously. So that is including, what you said is included in the meaning. So that is the meaning of bathing, Prabhu, and which all of us should try. And that's the only way according to Bhagavatam. This is the essence of Bhagavatam, to bathe in such pure devotees. That's why we remember today Amrish Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj. They are all pure devotees. Remembering their glories, we are bathing. So hearing Bhagavatam is one like that, bathing. However, there should be person also. Not only the characters of Bhagavatam. Person Bhagavat is also involved. Book Bhagavat is involved. Both can help us to take bath. So these are few thoughts.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Actually, I had I had this question to another class, I think, or I heard from another class that for a starting sadhak, like at least for me, I'm just a beginner. So it was advised that you just pray first, then automatically God will bestow the grace to navigate to the devotee or the pure devotee. So this is what he told me, that you just pray and God will show you or guide you to the correct person or the correct guru in due course of the time. In one of the lectures, I think I learned that also. That's why I was asking, when you say pure devotional service, he also said you cannot identify pure devotional. It comes with practice. So that's why I asked this question. Thank you, Prabhuji, for clarifying now. So I also, my feeling is like that only now. I just learned from one of the lectures, I think, by the other devotees, senior devotees. You should accept any Vaishnava same, not no senior, no junior. You should treat them or respect them all the equal. That's what I heard in one of the lectures. You can't make it out by the look, whether he's a pure Vaishnava.
Yeah, Prabhu, that is clear. I also said that, right? We can't know who is a pure devotee. We can't know. That's why we have to respect everyone.
You
That's what
respect,
Kapil
yes,
Muni
yes,
says. Kapil Muni says that, 3.29. You have to respect, what to speak of devotee, you have to respect every living entity. There is
yes,
no
yes.
question of disrespect to anyone. However, Shastras are filled with the discrimination also. In Bhakti Rasa, in NOI also, Rup Goswami is also telling, na, Krishneti yasya manasa driyeta dikshasti chet pranatibhishcha bhajantamisham shushrushaya bhajana vidnyam anannamanna nindadi shunya hridayipsita sangalabdha. You can read this verse. This is, I think, 5th or 6th verse from NOI. So it's very clearly telling that we have to reciprocate differently with different kinds of devotees. This is Rup Goswami, Abhideya Acharya. He is telling us, and we have to discriminate, we don't have to judge. So judging is offensive. But discrimination, because I am so fallen, I can't associate with everyone. So I need to discriminate. So that way Rup Goswami is teaching us. So seeing equally is one level, that is, but trying to discriminate with humility, that is suggested. So these are a few thoughts, Prabhu, and I will have to pause here because I have some service. So
Thank you, Prabhuji, for your time.
Thank you very much. Gantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I have to immediately stop. I am very sorry for that. I just missed it. It's already 6
So
8
devotee,
and
let's
I have something at 6 o'clock, so I will have to rush, Prabhus. I'm very grateful to every one of you for your patient hearing. Hare Krishna.
So let's pay our obeisances to Prabhuji. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo namo namah. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Samarpan Gopa Prabhuji ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class and your time and association. Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. That was the
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, dear devotees. Please stay with us. We are going to read the
Ekadashi quote, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Vrinda wants to read it since Mataji, she is waiting.
Okay. Fine. So,